Hey everybody, how's it going? We are here with a timeless reading. Welcome. The first cards that we have out are Four of Swords and Page of Cups. This is feeling like touching base with self for me. Four of Swords is feeling like unplugging from all of the busyness, from all of the movement, and a tuning in. It feels especially like a tuning inward, like there is a calming of the mind that's happening the way that I'm seeing Four of Swords. See how this feels like a stillness of busyness. Like this feels like anything that's not a self-directed thought sort of stilling, so there can be a connection and a tuning inward, and this Page of Cups feels like a tuning inward. I almost feel like this is seeing this person and then like zooming in to go like inside of what's happening, like if this person's eyes are shut, like what they're seeing on the inside. And I feel like the Page of Cups is what they're like seeing and tuning into. So you have person here, you go like inside of their head, and this is what's going on there. And having that Page of Cups, this is what am I feeling, what am I tuning into, what's going on. It's very much a checking in with what's happening on an internal level. Okay, we also have Nine of Cups. This can be giving you a bit of a directory here. Okay, so we tune into Page of Cups. Then we have Nine of Cups. Then we have Knight of Cups. Tuning in, catching wind of the feeling. Page of Cups is going to tell you what's going on a deeper level. Having Nine of Cups, this is really getting in touch with what you want, with what's resonating with you. And then Knight of Cups is going to be that then able to make moves based off of this, off of what you're feeling. Something also too that's coming to mind when I see this is that this is based off of like a seeking that's happening rather than an avoidance. This is kind of like, what do I want, rather than like running away from what I don't want. This is more so a focus on, it feels like what is, what you feel drawn towards, a sense of attraction even when it comes to what you're feeling, what you want to be experiencing, what is resonating with you, what is making sense. So it feels kind of like a plus for me, like a plus sign energetically. And this can mean too that when there is a quieting enough of anything that is not a self-directed thought, when there is really just this tuning in and getting a better understanding of what it is that you are sensing, what it is that you are feeling, what you want becomes apparent. So it feels very much like, obviously, it leads to that Nine of Cups. There is also a sense of self-mastery here as well with this process. And then what you want is going to inform the moves that you make. So it feels like a process that makes sense to be seeing. When you know what you want, it is also going to inform you of what you do not want. And that can also be why there is cause to be checking in, because there can be some confusion about this, or there can be this lack of clarity about it. I'm seeing Eight of Cups here. What this means is that when there is a like stilling of the mind and the anxieties and the fears and the busyness of the mind, and this is more like I have some type of agenda here and we're staying on track with this. I'm really trying to tune in here. When I'm getting in touch with what I'm feeling, it's telling me what I want. What that means is that it also informs me of what I do not want. When I am touching base with what resonates with me, this also informs me of what does not resonate with me, what is no longer in this present moment resonating with me. So having that Eight of Cups there can be an answer here that you're finding where, like, beyond the fear, beyond the anxiety, or beyond the habit, beyond the confines of things like that, things that are not the truth of the present moment for you, seeing through that, moving beyond that, to really touch base with what it is that you want, what it is that you enjoy, what it is that you love, what it is that you feel connected with, and being able to make a move that is supportive of that. Which also means too that if you are making moves that are supportive of that, if you have things that are going on, Eight of Cups, that you look at and you're like, this is no longer what I want, now can be the time when this really becomes apparent, when there's also going to be a move made. And this feels not just like moving away from something and then feeling sort of directionless. This is when I'm tuning into what I want, it tells me what to go for, and then naturally other things are going to fall away because of that. And I feel like it's operating from that instead of just being like, I don't like this and pushing away. This feels more like I like this, and so I'm moving in that direction, and naturally when I'm doing that, other stuff is going to fall away. And maybe before this tuning in was happening, something about this wasn't completely calculated yet. Because the only air energy that we see here, it's all cups except for one air energy that we see with the Four of Swords. And what that air energy is stilling, so the thoughts are not overflowing, and there's more of a feeling and more of rather than producing a bunch of thoughts, this feels more like observing what it is that you're feeling. And so there doesn't need to be all of that other stuff that can really create a cloudiness, especially too because it can be difficult. When we have Eight of Cups, that means that a transition is getting ready to take place. And so all of the stuff, all of the feelings, all of the hang-ups that we have about going through transitions and what that means and all of those things, it feels like taking that and putting a lid on it so you can just feel what you're feeling intuitively, and then that's going to inform what you do without like all of that overthinking to be coming up and messing with things here. And when I say messing with, I mean like clouding or veiling. High Priestess, another water energy, because that is connected with the moon. Hanged Man, Neptune, more water energy. And the Star, this is Aquarius. This feels most of all like a tuning in and connecting with your discernment. So, Eight of Cups and High Priestess. We have Eight of Cups, which is connected with what we no longer feel connected with. And High Priestess is the moon. So this is our past. Can also be, depending on what energy we're channeling for the moon, it can be the attachments that we feel to things, what we're familiar with, what we're used to. Having Hanged Man, this is about letting go. This is about a purging. This is about a release that's happening. Anything that's not aligned with what you feel like is your authentic path, because we are moving towards the Star. So ending with the Star, this is about our hopes, this is about our dreams. I see the Star as being our dharmic path that we walk. When I say dharmic, I mean your nature, when you are being true and honest with yourself about your nature from a place of awareness, the path that you walk. Eight of Cups is feeling like something is no longer aligned with that. Something can even feel like if I stay here, if I keep doing this, I'm getting off track. Like it's going this way and I'm veering off if I'm staying here doing this thing. So you can feel like you're off track because of that. So having High Priestess and having the Hanged Man, this is about connecting with that deeper wisdom, that inner knowing that you have about what truly aligns and releasing what does not. Coming to a place of understanding so that things can move forward. I do feel like this comes during a period of reflection. The way that I'm seeing us start off with the Four of Swords, it's almost feeling like going into hermit mode and thinking about things. And I do feel like this is just about finding what's already there within you, waiting for you to recognize how you're feeling. So it just feels like a sort of cutting away of anything that's getting in the way of you acknowledging and tuning into how you really feel. And there can be mental hang-ups that are doing that, and that's why the sort of stilling of all of that volume is important, so there can be the tuning into what's already there and what is already being communicated with you. It feels too like knowing what you feel magnetized towards as well, and this being acknowledged too. When we have Moon and when we have Neptune, because these energies are ones that we tap into in a space of feeling, from a place of feeling, the Moon is about the deeper truth within you of what's there, just waiting to be discovered, waiting to be uncovered. That ancient wisdom and knowledge existing within you that you have access to. It's just a matter of actually accessing it. When we have the Hanged Man here, this is about dispelling any type of illusion based off of things like attachment that you have. Attachment to habits and whatnot of like, I know that this is calling me, but then like I've been doing this even though that thing isn't in resonance anymore, or the fear that can be getting in the way, or the like, I don't know if that would even work for me. And tapping into that deeper wisdom, knowing that if in all honesty you are being guided in a direction, and you know that when you tune in that the path is going to support you doing that, because that is your path. And so like cosmically you will be supported in moving forward in that direction. But it definitely is there is a need to deliberately tune in and check in order for this to be revealed to you. And it's not that you have to go like making up feelings about something. It's just seeing what's already there, tuning into what you're already feeling, and it being very obvious about your path, and that is the way forward. So if you're feeling kind of like, how can the Eight of Cups feel? When we're in a situation that's the Eight of Cups, we can feel a bit purposeless. You can be doing something and you're like, why am I doing this? Rather than that feeling of excitement and joy and happiness and creativity and energy, it will feel like the opposite of that. So that's how you'll know you're in an Eight of Cups situation. It's like somewhere where you don't want to be. Or somewhere where you're like, oh, I'm obligated to be here, but you don't want to be there. It's going to be something of that nature. But this is a very deep level of feeling. This isn't just a superficial, like I'm having a bad day today. This is a knowing in your bones and knowing in your soul that you're not meant to be somewhere. Because there is a calling from somewhere else, and it's about answering that call and making that movement. Okay. I feel like that about does it. Just looking to see if there's anything else. Something that can give you some context. Doing things that are self-care related can help you with this. When I say self-care, I mean things that will help you ground and things that will help you connect with your natural grounded state can be helpful. Things having to do with water, because we have both Moon and Neptune here as well. Like you utilizing water to help you sort of move the energy around if it's feeling stuck. And then also too, when I see Nine of Cups and I see the star, I think about like dreams that you have. This can be like dreams, this can be fantasies that you have. It's stuff that if there were no limits and you were like, what is my ideal here? And I mean like in a real, like in an in touch type of way. I don't mean like if I get like all of this superficial stuff, then I'm gonna be happy, and that's not really an answer. I mean like on a really deep level, when you're connecting with yourself and you're touching base with what feels right instinctively and what that looks like if you're pursuing what you want to be pursuing and you're connecting with what you want to be connecting with and you feel drawn there because that feels natural to you, like what are those things? If you were not confined by circumstances or how is this going to work or how is that going to work, like what do you want the future to look like? What would be that ideal for you? Really a shoot for the stars type of thing. Then that can be also too somewhere where you start. Like if I'm assuming that anything would work out for me, no matter what I chose or what type of future I wanted, what would that look like for me? That can also be helpful too. Because this feels in ways like you can get nudges about stuff or you can be getting feelings about stuff, and there can be a like not always understanding totally and completely like what the message is behind that, like what information that is that you're being given. Saying that because I'm seeing Page of Cups and I'm seeing Hanged Man here. So this can be sometimes like, am I interpreting that correctly? And then once you feel like there is this touching base, this understanding, then being able to move and feel like, yep, this is the right direction for me, regardless of how hard it is, regardless of the unknown, regardless of all of that stuff, knowing within your heart that you're moving in the right direction. You don't need to have it all figured out, but just knowing that you're going in the right direction, it feels like it's about that. And you actually already know. This is just tuning into that part of yourself that does, and like validating that connection that you have so you can move forward. So you can keep going. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everyone for connecting. Thank you for tuning in. I am sending everybody love, and I hope to catch you guys next time.